Hey guys, WhipChip here with a brand new video, and in today's video I'll be showing you guys my custom LEGO Ninjago Borg tower. Now this model was not actually designed by me, it was designed by this user over on Replicable. So if you want to build this yourself, I've linked the page where you can buy his instructions in the description. Now as you can see, this tower is absolutely massive. I had to build an entirely new light box just to fit it. You can also see that there are tons of minifigures and side builds scattered all over this thing. So of course, let's take a look at those minifigures first. What Borg tower would be complete without Cyrus Borg? Now this minifigure is the exact same one that was found in the Ninjago City markets, except this time with gray legs instead of black ones, and then I painted on his turtleneck. There's also the golden statue he gives the ninja the digiblades in. A custom rebooted suit for Lloyd. Now this combines his March of the Oni look as well as his rebooted look for multiple different scenes that are shown throughout the tower, as well as one of those style suits for Kai, in addition to his custom teacher outfit that he wore in the season. We also get a disguised Cole from Crystallized, a disguised Jay, a custom Nia from Season 3, complete with her little wristband as well as her metallic fan, Zane, of course, from Crystallized when he had to be brought to Borg Tower to be fixed, Ronan, who brought him to the tower, as well as a custom Pixel which utilizes the core face and hair, as well as a custom printed torso which matches her Season 3 design. Jay from Prime Empire with his new face from Dragon's Rising, as well as Unagami to combat Jay, and a custom Milton Dyer to calm Unagami down. Of course, to go after the Prime Empire motherboard, we have the Mechanic, Ultraviolet, as well as a custom Captain Soto minifigure. To go along with them, we also have two prisoners from Cryptarian Prison, and two Elemental Masters, both to stop the broadcast, of course one of them being Skylar, the other being Shade. We also have Brad, one of the students Teacher Kai is showing around Borg Tower, as well as Sally, with a reference to the aquarium Dareth takes her in the next couple of episodes. Then we have a Borg Tower employee. This guy is pretty screen accurate. He also comes with a Borg laptop. And then a not screen accurate Borg store employee found in the Ninjago City markets. There are also two cops in the set, one of them holding the Tea of Truth to give to Luke Cunningham, and of course the other just being super shocked at all of the crazy stuff going on at the tower. There is also a security guard from March of the Oni with a custom painted hat and a custom torso, as well as a custom painted white Nindroid. Now the one on the aftermarket is super expensive, so I wanted to make my own. There is also the Omega to go under the tower, and a custom Oni soldier with those like centaur legs or whatever they're called. Next up we have a custom cloaked white Pythor holding his bow and arrow, as well as an electric eel, Cryptor, Overborg, and a custom painted Overlord. Now this guy has a black painted armor piece which looks really cool, painted eyes, some lightning as an accessory, and then my favorite part is this cape I made out of this like transparent clear plastic, which is supposed to represent that like cape he had when he was his golden master form, as well as when he first emerged out of the pod. Garmadon, the Quiet One or Harumi, and the man in the white mask, Luke Cunningham. This guy comes with an accessory of the grappling hook that they use to get up to the tower where they rob the Oni mask. And then, when you take off his mask, I also included a custom painted Exoforce hair so that way he can have his actual hair that he does in the TV show. There is also the little security drone that was used in Prime Empire, as well as Zane's custom painted Falcon. Now this is the Falcon from the CMF Black Falcon minifigure, and I just painted it black to more accurately represent the Falcon from the TV show. Gail Gossip is also in this set, as well as Vinny. We also have Joel, the robot that Nia named after Jay and Cole as the one she chooses to like, I guess. Sensei Wu, of course. And Tech Wu. There is also Garmadon in his Nindroid outfit that he used to fight Tech Wu, as well as normal Garmadon. To round off the last four minifigures, I made each of the ninja in their gold outfits, of course starting with Kai. Next is Jay, who I think particularly looks really good. Cole, and then, of course, Zane. As you guys can see, there really is just so many minifigures in this set that I made. Whether they were like custom made or I just pulled out of my city, I think it was really cool and they look really good on the tower, which I can't wait to show you guys through the different shots I have throughout the video. But now let's take a look at the side builds. So the first side build we're going to take a look at is Pixel's Samurai X mech. Now this is basically just a reskin of that little Captain America mech they released earlier, a couple years ago actually. It's basically got like the spinner crown. I gave it a couple of little stickers that were from the actual Samurai X mech. Of course it can fit Pixel right in there. And then I gave it a couple stud shooters as well as those new mech fingers. Also, there's a spike from the 4+ core Lloyd set, which of course we can put our Lloyd from the Borg Tower in. This thing looks really good. It looks pretty accurate to the bike that he used in Season 3. And then, of course, we have another thing pulled right out of the set. This is the little micro Guyz Kai fighter, which I think looks really good on top of the Borg Tower, as well as a couple of Ninjroids with their jetpacks, which looks really good flying around the tower, as well as this little, like, outpost Ninjroid thing from the actual Legacy Kai fighter. This is also a design ripped straight out of Brick Legends Borg Tower, which you can see, link the video in the description, of course. This is a really cool design. I knew I just had to have it, mostly because when you turn this around, there is the Overlord virus attacking it. This thing almost looks like a hand or something. I just think that's really cool, and like it's almost like another minifigure almost. Of course, somewhere in the tower there will be the Prime Empire arcade machine. This thing is basically, again, ripped straight out of like Unagami's Temple of Madness set, except I added a couple more stickers. I added like on these like little jets or whatever, as well as Prime Empire and then the Prime Empire symbol. Of course, then there's a little bed that Zane gets laid on during Crystallize, so of course you can reenact that scene. Or the scene where Nia falls in love with Cole. Of course, this is the exact same build, again, for that love machine that was from Brick Legends. But again, why mess with perfection? And then, probably one of my favorite side builds in the entire set is this little capsule for the Overlord. Now, of course, this is what, like, the Ninjroids and all of them bring up before the asteroid comes to the tower, and I'm just really happy with the way this turned out. There's a print up here, and then you can open up the tower, and, of course, the Overlord can come out of it, which looks really cool. It also doubles up as a perfect, like, little case where you can put in Lloyd to kind of drain his, like, golden power. And finally, one of the last side builds in the set is this little Ninjroid carrier. Now, this carries the Golden Comet, or I guess that asteroid with all of the golden weapons in it, as well as a bunch of Ninjroids to carry it in a net. I think this looks really good on the tower. I'm really happy with the way it turned out. Alright, so now that we have all those minifigures and stuff out of the way, I'm going to show you guys how this tower goes together and kind of the layout of it, so that way it's easier for me to show you. So, starting off, at the very top of the tower, the most fragile part, is able to be removed, which is really nice. Then, moving on, this entire section of the tower just comes off like this. This is actually definitely the hardest and heaviest part of the tower, actually, to transport. And then we have the bottom, which is super nice, and of course, starting with the review, we'll look at the base and a little bit of the landscaping around it. Alright, so taking a look at the base of the tower, we can see we have these really nice custom lampposts on both sides of the tower. On this one, there's a sign that says, "Welcome to New Ninjago City," which of course they saw coming into New Ninjago City in Season 3. A custom Lloyd Resistance Never Quits TV sticker right here, which I think looks really good, as well as a just regular Ninjago City sticker right there. Then on the other side, we have another Ninjago City actual sticker, some antenna, a radar dish, and then of course Lloyd saying the Resistance Never Quits on a bigger TV. Now these are both able to be removed because of course the actual Borg Tower does not have these giant signs on both sides of the tower, but I think they add something cool and it makes it fit in a little bit better with the other Ninjago City sets. Now there's a couple bushes on the front of the tower which I think looks really good, and then of course if we remove Borg, there's some stairs going up to the main door. You can put Kai right here, get him stuck in the doors I guess, which is kind of cool, and then the inside is very limited. So there's an entire Technic thing going all around here, so it left me with very little space, but I try to do the best with the space that I had. So of course for this one, I printed out a picture of the lobby of Borg Tower. I still think it looks really cool. It looks like you're looking into the tower, as well as just some laying down of dark blue and teal tiles. You can close those right back up. I absolutely love the sun roof or whatever that this is. It looks really cool. Now moving on, you can see there is these trees on both sides. These are actually really cool builds. I was really impressed with the way they went together. And then of course moving on, you can see on the sidewalk right here, there's a dumpster. Now I guess this is where they keep all the trash for the tower. Kind of a small dumpster, but it works. You can see there's a letter inside of it. Now, could this be a letter dropped by the postman when he was hiding in the trash from the Oni Titan, or is it the letter that Garmadon stole from Wu and gave to Misako? Who knows? Next to the dumpster, we have a trash can. Now, this has a pretty deep reference to it. A little red doll. So, you know, tell me what you guys think that is a reference to in the TV show and why it would be in the dumpster. Then, moving on, we have next to this trash can with this red doll in it, we have an ultraviolet TV. Now, this has a printed Ultra Hunt tile on it. I think that looks really cool. Of course, the TV's busted, and it freeze framed that before Lloyd went on the air. Now, moving on, we can see there's a little itty-bitty photo right here next to the cracked cement. Now, this is the picture of Zane and Pixel that brought Zane back from the Neverrealm. And then, of course, the crushed cement is supposed to represent Ultraviolet when she got thrown from the Oni Titan. Now, moving on, you can see the backside of the tower is actually pretty cool. It's pretty plain, but there is a rat on the cement. Now, is this a reference to Mistake or Rodrigo that Pythor rode in Season 4? That's up to you guys too. Now let's take a look at the other side. Alright, so on the other side here, we have a very cool sewer lid with some Oni tentacles spilling out of it. Another one of the trees. We have a little reference to basically the exact same build from the Ninjago City Markets, but I thought it would be cool to have like maybe a little spot where people pay respects to the ninja or Wu because he is still missing. We have a printed picture of Harumi and her parents. Now Harumi is in the set as an adult, not as a kid, but I still thought that was a cool thing to add. We have this little computer here to help people find where they're going in Ninjago City, just like Nadakon did in Season 6, as well as a micro figure to represent Mini Pythor. Now, if we turn this build around, we can see that this wall does actually remove. So taking this off, we get access to 3 of these little rooms on the inside of the tower, or I guess it was supposed to be below the tower. Now, these are all really small, but that was, again, remember, I was trying to build around that Technic frame. I think they turned out really good. Now, starting with the left, we have the room where I guess Pythor brought the Overlord virus back. You can actually fit Pythor behind his desk, which I was really necessary, I guess. Moving on, you can see that the Overlord is a little printed sticker up here, which I think looks really good, connected with these pipes powered by the electric eels like it is in the TV show. There's pipes running all over this thing, which I think look really good. Of course, removing Pythor, we can take a better look at his desk, which can also be removed. There's an electric eel in this little crate right here, as well as the Overlord's virus on this printed part, as well as the tracker that he was using to track the Falcon and Lloyd and Garmadon through Hiroshi's Labyrinth. Underneath the desk, we can also see there are some of the Overlord's ashes, which of course the tower was built on, which is why he was able to come back. Moving on, we have the hallway into the relics room, I guess. I don't really know what you would call it. You can put the security guard right here, which I think looks really, really good compared to the Oni Tentacle where he's like running away from it. I do really like that build of the Oni Tentacle. I think it looks really good, as well as a, again, print of the door from that scene. Moving on to the next room, we have the relics room, I guess, that was under Borg Tower. You can see there's the Realm Crystal right here protected by these laser bars. I'm really happy with the way this build turned out. I think it matches pretty well to what it looks like in the TV show. Of course, the Realm Crystal is purple because the Oni are coming through it, as well as a sort of sanctuary with a pretty cool sticker, I must say. And then, of course, there is this purple smoke to represent the Omega or whatever, the Oni coming through. You can put the Omega right by the smoke. I don't know how well it looks because, again, the room is pretty cramped, but I did make a bigger version of this, link to that video also in the description. One cool Easter egg I was able to include on the actual paneling of this room was the portrait of Sensei Yang. I think it looks really good. It does fit in between the bricks, and this all just gets hidden away. And yeah, on to the next room. Alright, so the way that this next floor gets shown to us is you have to take this little panel off the wall. It's a little bit of a tight squeeze, but it works pretty well, and it's also pretty cool when you get it off. It kind of just looks kind of cool. So taking a look at the 2 rooms we have right here, we have the Ninjoid factory up here with this giant saw blade, as well as this like Technic arm. I think it looks pretty cool, as well as a really nice little Easter egg to Zane's blueprints. I'm really happy with the way that turned out, as well, of course, the instructions how to make a Ninjoid, because of course this is where all the Ninjoids were made. Moving down, this room might look a little bare, but that is because, of course, that's where the golden statue is supposed to go. We also do have like the love machine, which I did show off earlier. Of course, design, remember, was going to Brick Legends, where I copied directly from that, which I'm really happy with because it looks just like it does in the TV show. There's this blue holographic pillar behind the statue, as well as a desk for a Borg store employee. Looks really nice. And of course, also put Nia on the heart, so where she can see Cole. Now, the last room in this like section of the tower, of course you can see that's where it's cut off, is a pretty empty room. This is where I keep most of my stuff, but there is one thing in here, which of course is a subscribe button. So of course, if you like this video, remember to subscribe, like, and comment. It does really help the channel out a lot. But yeah, let's move on to the next room. Alright, so here's the next part of the tower we're going to take a look at. This is kind of like the midsection. This looks really, really good. I'm happy with the way this turned out. It's basically the same from both sides, but of course that is basically not a bad thing. It's really cool looking on both sides no matter what. You can see up here, the main difference is between nothing on this side, but of course there is this little platform over here. This is of course where Lloyd fought the SOG when they were trying to steal the Oni mask. It does scale the tower down a little bit, having minifigures on it, but it still looks pretty cool, and especially is nice for play. Moving down, we can also see there's some helipads on both sides. Again, these are great for just to like put on displaying minifigures. It looks really cool, as well as of course having like the main fight where like Garmadon and Wu fought during season 3 when they were fighting each other. Looks really cool. It's great to recreate some iconic scenes on this set. Now, the way that this tower's interior works, or I guess this section of the tower's interior works, is that this part of the wall comes right out. So here, let me get a bigger view. And that comes right out. And then for the rest of the tower, this is all just unused space. Looking at the interior of this room, you can see this is supposed to be where like Ultraviolet filmed her Ultra Hunt, but of course this is where Lloyd takes over. So let me fill in the minifigures. Now, this looks really, really good if you ask me. I'm happy with the way this turned out. You can see on the floor there, of course, are the photos that were all crossed out. Ultraviolet was hunting. And then I'm really happy with the way that this like spray painted background turned out. I did not want to use a print for that, and I'm really happy that I didn't go with one because I think these dot pieces looks really good. There's of course a movie camera, Shade has the boom mic, and then removing Skylar, you can see that there's just like this cup, as well as a bunch of TVs with Lloyd thinking, as well as a mouse. Moving on to the next floor, this is kind of like the relic room in the Borg Tower. You can put Luke Cunningham in here on this like jumper, ready to steal the mask. Of course, behind him, there's like a printed mask. That's a direct screenshot from in the show. There's a little bamboo plant, as well as a little golden figurine to represent Nautocon's dad. That, of course, his statue was in the show. Now, on this side of the tower, there is a painting of Borg, which we can remove. I'll give you a better look at that. Right here, that looks pretty nice. And then behind that is a Noni mask, which is really cool. Really happy with the way that turned out. And then, of course, moving on to the last floor, we have Borg's office. You can see there are some like different grates and stuff on the floor to make it look like those like wires or whatever that design is. There's the red button on over by the window, of course, which activated the Ninja's Digiverse. And then, of course, on this side, we have the little I don't know what you call it, the police detective board of like all the different bad guys in Ninjago. That's a direct screenshot, as well as a little beacon where Borg was able to see the Overlord's location and crystallize. Moving on, we have some lights over here. Push on those bricks. There's some lights over here, of course, to like just because it's like a lab or whatever. And then a screenshot of Lloyd on a motorcycle when he was trying to find like Project Arcturus, as well as one of my favorite details, which is easier to see up here, which is a stickered version of the Carrot Cup Juster the postman was doing to try and figure out what codenamed Arcturus was. Again, all scenes from the top floor. Of course, you're able to fit in all of the different accessories that go in there. So, of course, there is the Prime Empire arcade machine. Then, taking that out, we can put in Borg's ginormous computer. And then, of course, the last little accessory in the tower would be the deathbed that Zane had in Crystallized. So we can put that in there and then put Zane on the bed. This is super important. This is probably the one I'm going to keep because I just like this scene so much. These can end up working as like lights to like help fix Zane or something, like a doctor's office. Really happy with that. Borg is not really able to fit in beside Zane at this point, but Pixel is, so that's really all that's important. Alright, so here is the top floor, and of course that just goes right on top of this floor pretty seamlessly. It looks really good. Alright, so then looking at this top floor, the Borg symbol is definitely a eye grabber. I really like the way it looks. It uses minifigure hands as well as hockey sticks or ski poles. That looks really, really good. I like the way that this whole thing was built. It is very fragile, like this does break a lot, but I think it looks really good. It has a very weird shape in the show, and I'm really happy with the way the guy like was able to get it through. I'm just really proud of the way this whole tower came together. Alright, so here is everything. If you guys stuck around this long, thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate it. I'm really happy with the way everything came together. And again, one more big shout out to the guy on Rebrickable for building this thing. If you guys do wonder, this did cost actually a lot of money to make. It was around like $400. So of course, keep that in mind. If you are deciding to build this, it does cost a lot of money. But yeah, thank you guys so much for watching and have a wonderful day. Bye!